Will affect Africa's food security situation as vulnerable populations struggle to cope with increased droughts and flooding. The situation in southern Africa, where tropical cyclone Idai and an ongoing drought in the Horn of Africa region are just some of the worrying effects of global warming.
In the south, tropical cyclone Idai. In its wake, death, destruction and devastation.
It flattened everything. The stones, they broke the houses, and it was due to the storm.
In the east, prolonged dry spells. Hunger now stalks millions of people across the Horn of Africa region, with reports of at least 11 deaths in Kenya due to starvation. The Famine Early Warning System Network has predicted severe hunger and crop failure of up to 30% this year. The United Nations has warned that the number of climate-related disasters have increased in the last 30 years.
Every week brings a new example of climate-related devastation. No country or community is immune. And, as is always the case, the poor and vulnerable are the first to suffer and the worst hit. My heart goes out to the hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of people affected by the recent cyclone Idai in Mozambique, Malawi and Zimbabwe. Such events are becoming more frequent, more severe and more widespread, and will become even worse unless we act urgently now.
We have seen flooding problems, we have seen drought problems, heat wave problems, and also storm problems, and about half of the world population have been exposed to major natural disaster.
We visited the weather center at the Kenya Meteorological Department in Nairobi to understand exactly what's happening.
The tropical convergence zone, which is the rainfall bearing system.
In the East African region, the October to December rains were below normal, spelling a disaster for a population that comprises 80% subsistence farmers.
Especially the northern part of East Africa, where we've experienced prolonged drought. And this is more so around much of Kenya and northern Uganda, and of course parts of Ethiopia. There was a failure in crop production and water harvesting.
Global temperatures have risen to close to 1 degree Celsius above the pre-industrial period. 2018 was the fourth warmest year on the record, and the last 4 years were the warmest years in the global temperature record, according to the World Meteorological Organization. Of concern to scientists is the rising sea level.
Whenever we have increased ocean temperatures, it is a good condition that enables the formation of tropical cyclones, and most of the temperatures exceed 26 degrees, and because of that tropical cyclones become more, and because of climate change we are having more ocean temperatures exceeding 26 degrees, and therefore an increase in the frequency of tropical cyclones.
In Africa, experts warn that climate extremes will reverse gains made in ending hunger and malnutrition, with at least 31 countries on the continent presently in need of food assistance. Sarah Kimani, SABC News,